Hey everyone, welcome back to Mindful Mondays, and we're going to talk about observing our emotions while we're creating. That sounds weird, right? Maybe not. I mean, let's be honest. When you're creating, it's not just about the tools and materials. It's really about how you feel when you're doing it, right? So before we start this conversation, I want to interject this because I've shared this with many of my students when I teach in-person classes. I talk about the energy that goes into your pieces, and I create throughout all of my emotions, right? Sometimes I may be sad and I create. Sometimes I may be like, yes, just very excited and I create. Sometimes I may be angry and I create. I might be frustrated, stressed out, and I create. But here's the thing. One thing I don't suggest is when you're having those negative emotions, don't pass that jewelry piece on to someone else, because that energy that you had while you creating it goes into it passes on to the next person. That's a whole nother level. I could go a whole lot deeper, but this ain't what it is today. I'm just saying, I just want to make that little disclaimer, that statement. Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about observing your emotions, because it's very important for you to do that, right? Some days you might feel like everything is flowing, like, yeah, the beads are lining up just and hitting the light like I wanted to, right? The wire bends like, ooh, I am the diva wire wrapper up in here, right? Or you might just be completely at peace, like, whew, I am in sync with my soul today. The other days, those frustrating, angry, tearful days, you might, I'm done with these pliers. Oh my gosh, why is the wire kinking up on me? Nothing is fitting right, for crying out loud. And then you wonder, why the heck am I even doing this? Does that sound familiar? First of all, don't force it. All right. The truth is that your emotions are a huge part of your creative process. They're not distractions. They're signals. So when you start to observe your emotions instead of fighting them, something powerful happens. You stay connected with the real experience of creating, right? Because you start noticing patterns. How you feel when you're using your hands. Oh, this makes me happy. Or how frustration tightens your shoulders, right? That tension is in your body. Then you pull on the wire and choke the cob crap out of it. Don't do that, y'all. Cob crap? Where the heck did I just get that from? Let's keep going. Cob crap? Okay, I got stuck there. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. This is unedited. This is real. Anyway, so that frustration is in your shoulders, and then the tension travels down through your arms and to your hands, and like I said, you're choking that wire, right? Or if you're calm, you're noticing how all of your movements are almost musical because they start flowing and being smoother together, right? So instead of judging those feelings, you simply allow them. And because you're doing that, you're being mindful, but you're not forcing positivity, right? This is all about awareness, seeing what's going on, being in the moment, letting it move through you without getting stuck. I have noticed in myself sometimes I like to, okay, so some of y'all have asked me, where's my favorite place to create? I create on my bed. Crisscross applesauce. I used to work in the classroom. Crisscross applesauce. Okay, so that's how. Is it good for my knees? Nah, but I like it. But so sometimes, or I should say, on those times when I feel the tension in my body, my back will start hurting. And all that muscle pain will start going down. And I start getting upset and taking it out on the wire. I have to notice that. I'm aware of it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, lighten up. Self-talk, lighten up. Right? All right. So that's what awareness does. Okay? So the next time that you're creating, and if you feel that frustration, like I just said, if you feel that frustration coming on, don't push it away. Just pause and take a deep breath and just acknowledge it. Okay, I'm feeling frustrated right now, and that's okay. And then those times when you're happy and you feel that joy, notice that too. You know what? This is really calming me today. Doing this makes me so happy. Still be aware of all of your emotions, okay? Because by naming your emotions, you release their grip, okay? You stop being in the storm and you start watching it pass. And that's the beautiful part, because those emotions, and I mean all of them, they add depth to your art, right? You done went through something, but you done made it to the other side. Boom, that's a win, right? Because they become part of your story. So here's a practice. Let's talk about the action step for today, because everybody knows they're going to walk away with some homework for this week. Here's just one small practice that I want you to do during the next time that you decide to sit down and create. Okay. I want you to take an emotion check-in, right? So halfway through your project, pause for about 30 seconds, take a breath and ask myself, what am I feeling right now? Don't judge it. Don't try to fix it. Just in that one moment, open up to the awareness of how are you feeling right now. Okay? All you got to do is name it. Calm. Curious. Tense. Peaceful. Excited. And sometimes stuck, right? And then gently say to yourself, it's okay to feel like this, because I'm still creating. And this little act of awareness builds an emotional balance and self-trust. So, because the more you practice noticing your emotions, the less your emotions can control you, and the more freely you can creatively flow. Does that make sense? It makes sense? Okay, good. So let yourself feel all the things. And just remember, this is part of your creative story. We got through that, y'all. I had to take a breath. We all take a breath. Okay. All right, we're going to stop there. And I thank you for joining me today on this Mindful Monday. And happy creating. Love, Angela. Talk to you next week.